Hello, Sister Goons. My name is Alex, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon LeafGreen. In the last video, we managed to get our starter and also catch a couple new party members. But we are going to be catching a temporary party member right now, Mankey. And Mothra is almost ready to evolve, because that's kind of what I did off screen. I did some level grinding a little bit off screen, mainly because I figured that we could show off evolution in this video. Though, I would really like to use Primeape sometime on a team. But the problem is that in Gen 3, Mankey and Primeape aren't very good. Like, they don't get that many good fighting or coverage moves. They are fairly fast, though, so there is that. Also, I believe that Mankey was put here instead of the Nidoran line for Gen 3, because in Gen 1 you can find both Nidos in here like almost no problem. And yes, I did edit past a few things here and there because I didn't want to bore you guys too much with grinding, but hey, now I got Mothra. Well, we're evolving her, sorry. But anyway, so yeah, basic evolution thing, considering, you know, the Game Boy Advance hardware limits. So I mean, like, I still got a soft spot for this, because this was my childhood game after all. But that's besides the point. But anyway, so I figured that after a bit more grinding, I figured let's tackle the first blue fight, because I did forget to mention, canonically these characters do have names. The player being named Red, and your rival being called Blue. Though technically in Japan his name is Green, but let's not get into that, shall we? So, for this fight, he has a level 9 Pidgey, and his starter is now level 9 as well, I think. Now, Pidgey can be kind of a pain in the ass because of tackle, but also it has Sand Attack, which lowers your accuracy, and in this game, it can be annoying. Like, seriously, like, I swear to God, I found my party members missing every single time that at least, like, one Sand Attack goes up. It's freaking infuriating. But, so I didn't know if Sparky could take a hit here, so I decided to sacrifice Barbara so that way I could switch her in safely, as well as giving Mothra some much needed switch training. It's called switch training, because you are switching out one Pokemon for the other. And if you win, they still gain experience points. Also, I'll make a little note in the bottom, so that way, you know. Sorry about that. I'm recording fairly late, I think, at night, but, you know, like, not much I can do about it. It just is what it is. But anyway, so now that that's out of the way, we can head on back to the Veridian Forest and actually start making our way through it. Though, if you have a Charmander like I do, this is this is like free experience, like no holds barred, you know. But I did decide to keep Mothra up first because I wanted to get her to level 10 as fast as I could, because because Mothra, at least for like 2 more catches, she would actually be very useful for like, well, she'd be like she'd be useful for like 2 more captures, but she's also not a bad tech option to have here either. And I also decided to keep the fight in because I believe it's mandatory, but I'm not too sure on that, so, you know. Now, there is a benefit to training up your Butterfree, which is what's going to happen later, from a Caterpie all the way up to the final stage, and that's because when you find a Metapod in the wild, it will only know Harden. It will not have String Shot, it will not have Tackle, it will just have Harden, and that's all that it will do. So the ideal method is to, a bit of a smarter play would be to get a Caterpie, raise it to level 7, and then you can have it fight on its own, so that way it can gain some amount of experience. Now, that is probably what I should have done earlier, but, you know, I just don't know why. And also, you may have noticed, Tackle is not hitting as often as it should. That is because in this generation, Tackle had very low accuracy. Well, very low by today's standards. I think it's like 90, 95, somewhere around that. But if you had something like Scratch or was Pound in this generation? I don't quite remember. But whatever. If you had one of those moves, you would have been off a lot easier. But since I don't, you know? Oh, and also, I just think that the fights can pad out the video because, like, you don't want to sit through just, like, 15 minutes, you know? Just, like, you gotta make that back somehow, right? Well, anyway. So, I probably should get into some advantages that you can get between Caterpie and Weedle. So, Weedle has access to Poison Sting, which is a stab move, and... oh, right. also showing off my dumbness here. I should have switched way sooner, but I think I just wanted to give Mothra as much XP as she could, but no well. Anyway, so Weedle does have a stab move in Poison Sting. However, it is a very, very weak poison move. It does have a chance to poison you, though, so it's not completely useless, but there are better moves that were introduced in future games. Okay, so... oh, and here is his second... here's evolution, Kakuna. This is Weedle's version of Metapod. Sorry. Now, Metapod has the same sort of disadvantages that you have with Caterpie, or not Caterpie, with a Metapod. If you find it in the wild, it will only know Harden, and you have to do a lot of switch trading. So, yeah. Now, the final evolution, Beedrill, not the greatest. Like, especially in this generation, right? Because, it's not very fast, it's frail as shit, and there are a lot of psychic Pokemon in this particular generation. So it's not very good. I think it gets Twin Needle in this generation, which was its signature move. In fact, I think it still is its signature move because I don't recall any other bug types getting it. But I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong. Don't feel free to correct me in the comments. But you know, I'm not too privy for the details. But anyway, now Butterfree on the other hand, Butterfree has the ability that was introduced in this generation, a Compound Eyes, which boosts the accuracy of all moves in its disposal, which makes it a good tech option for stuff like Sleep Powder and Poison Powder and Stun Spore, right? But the main one that I want for it is Sleep Powder, because it can put a Pokemon to sleep for about 5 turns. At least I think it's 5 turns. It's RNG whether it goes like the full 5 turns in the first place. So, you know, it's not that big a deal, but well, whatever. But it also gains access to the move Confusion, which is vital for this early in the game because, well, I shouldn't say this early in the game, but like when we get to Mount Moon and we start encountering stuff like Arbok and Grimer and Wheezing. Or, no, coughing, not Wheezing. I'm thinking of Koga, but we'll get to him when we get to him. So, yeah. But yeah. Personally, just go with Butterfree because Bug is not good in this generation. It really isn't. Plus, like, okay, so you have the 2 that I mentioned here, but there's also one in Mount Moon named Paris, which I will catch for the record. That is going to be my HM slave, because that's one of the things that you needed for this generation. But it's also not a very good Mon. It's very slow. Its defenses are not very great. Its attack is fairly decent for what it is, but that's honestly not saying much. It doesn't have as many good qualities as some may think. It looks cool, it has some interesting lore behind it, but that's really about it. There's like Paris and its evolution, Parasect, are not that great. But and there are 2 more, Scyther and Pinsir. I think they are both aversion exclusive, though. Very rare encounters in the Safari Zone, I think. But not worth it, because I don't think Scyther even gets access to Fury Cutter, which is a move that gets more powerful the more that you use it. So let's say that you hit it once, right? Well, if you use a Fury Cutter again, the power will double, and then it'll just, God damn it, phone. It'll just keep on doubling with each sequential attack, which is very, very busted. Well, I shouldn't say very busted, because you can still miss, but yeah, it's just kind of a like bug types got so much better after Gen. Like, I want to say it was like, actually, like, does Gen 4 count because of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where they finally gave Heracross a decent well, actually no. You don't use Heracross because of the bug type. You use it because it's a fighting type. It does learn a bug type move, but it's very prone to missing, so oh well. Anyway, Gen 3, I don't think it gave us that many good bug types. Well, actually, no, it did. Fuck, what was it called? Ninjask and something else. Shedinja, that's what it was. Like those were really good bug types for what they were, but that was Gen 3. In Gen 4, I don't recall any good bug types there. Vespiquen, maybe? If you can actually, train. Well, one, if you can get the right Combi for it and train it up to the precise level, because holy shit, they did not like Combi. But yeah, like technically Drapion, because its pre-evolution was a bug type, but it dropped it during its evolution, so I'd say that it's an honorary bug, but regardless, though, there was also Gen 5 was when things kind of started to get a little bit better, I think, because we had Scolipede with its I want to say it was a pile driver ability, a pile driver move that boosts up its speed, and I think Leafani was the first one to ever get X Scissor. I want to say that. Please correct me in the comments, please. But I want to say it was around Gen 5 when bugs started to get very good. At least, I want to say that. But point is all this tangents. Bug was not that very good of a type from the get-go. It is very abundant, but it's a quantity over quality thing, right? There are a few diamonds in the rough here, but they're few and far between. But anyway, so I chose to keep all of this in to show that, well, one, grinding can be a bit of a pain, but also to to kind of pad out time, but to also show off the final evolution, which is going to happen in just a couple of minutes, I think. Because, well, okay, so I got a bit of a love-hate relationship with the Pikachu line, not because it's the mascot or it's everywhere or anything like that, but whenever I get one, it wants to lean more into the physical side, where I don't want that, and I want it to pack a powerful Thunderbolt, right? So every freaking time that I catch a Pikachu in these games, it wants to be more of a head-on brute instead of using its type specialty to its advantage. I don't get it. I honest to God do not get it. But with that said, Mothra is now level 10, and we finally get our tech choice for this early in the game. Though, don't get used to them. They won't be around for very long. I want to say after... No. I want to say before we get on the SSN, we just sort of ditch this one, you know? But anyway, yep, we have a Butterfree on hand, and they know Confusion. But while I am doing all of this, though, well, okay, so I should really point out that I kind of sort of played this in a bit of a wrong way. Because instead of going to Pewter City, like you guys would want me to, I chose to keep on going back through Veridian Forest so I could keep on grinding as well as going back to Veridian City so I can get healed up. It's a roundabout way. I'm not doing it the most optimal way, but I want it to fit with the experience for you guys because I want you to see all the stuff that I'm doing and well the important stuff that I'm doing anyway. But that's not really important. So, in the next video, you will see the team is a little bit stronger, and we will be going through a Pewter City and taking on Brock, which is very standard for these games. So, I think I rambled on for a bit too long here. So, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment down below. And if you're new around here, please subscribe to the channel because we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and every little bit helps out a lot. Until next time, Celestial Goons, remember, reach for the stars.